Welcome back to the Nino Brown Sports Network. Breaking news. The Dolphins drafted Tua as the answer for Miami's future. But right now, he becoming the biggest liability on the team. Tua Tagovailoa signed a massive contract extension, but yet he putting up embarrassing numbers that got the Dolphins tanking season after season. Let's look at Tua Tagovailoa contract. 4 years, $212.4 million with a guaranteed package of over $167 million. This deal locks Tua in as Miami quarterback for at least 3 more years, meaning they might be stuck with Tua for a very long time. They gonna tank season after season unless they get a reason to get his ass up out of there. He garbage juice. Let's talk about his performance. In a recent matchup against the Cleveland Browns, Tua Tagovailoa had one of his worst showings ever. Check this out. Tua threw 3 interceptions, he had 3 fumbles, and he was benched mid-game. He only completed just 12 passes for just 100 yards in the entire game and posted a career worst passer rating ever of 24.1. Ain't no Dolphin quarterback ever did no like that. Now dig this. The Dolphins only converted 1 of 13 third downs in that game, as everything a part of Tua fell around Tua that's around Tua. Now after that goddamn game, he sat in that press conference and admitted, I'm not proud of where I am.
Yeah, definitely not happy, not proud of where I'm at with my play, with how I've gone about things this year. I know I got to be a lot better, and I've been better for the Miami Dolphins years past, but this isn't years past. This is this year, right? And just trying to maneuver everything and trying to build a collection of guys to kind of bring along with me, and I got to be able to multitask if that makes sense. Be able to do that, and while doing that, kind of continue to get the whatever it was last year and the years prior for myself to get going again and get in that flow.
Now this ain't the first time he done took some blame, but he ain't changing the goddamn thing about his game. He's still coming out there and looking like pure garbage juice. The Dolphins gotta figure something out quick, because the quarterback is supposed to be the leader of the team, and instead, Tua is the weakest link. That's a problem. And his expensive contract extension mean Miami can't easily move on from him, and they ain't got no good backup quarterback. The only way out is a trade. Otherwise, they're gonna be paying big money to a quarterback who's struggling and the team sitting there tanking, and you know how TYREEK Hill feel with his torn Achilles. He got them on the sideline right now trying to figure out a way out back to Kansas City with my homeboy now. So let me ask you something. If you was Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, what you would do in this situation? Would you trade him now while there's some kind of value still existing inside Tua? But for what? Here are some potential trade targets that the Dolphins could seek with the deal with Tua, because he got to get up out of there. They could trade Tua for Russell Wilson, as Russ probably can connect with TYREEK Hill a little bit more accurately than Tua can. Or they could look for a young quarterback with upside who is more affordable, somebody like Shedeur Sanders. Bring him to Miami and let him start and rebuild your franchise around TYREEK Hill and Shedeur Sanders. That'll be a good deal. Or they could pair Tua with draft capital and a mid-level player in return. That'll be a good deal. Or they could free up some cap space and reset the quarterback room and give Miami a chance to rebuild free and clear. The bottom line is, Tua Tagovailoa, whatever his name is, might be on his way to becoming the worst starting quarterback in Dolphins franchise history if this current trajectory continues. And with that contract hanging over them, the franchise is in a tough spot they can't do much. They got to figure this out quick. They need to pay somebody to think, come over here and see Uncle Nino. I figured it out on the Nino Brown Sports Network. But it's clear as day, if you a Dolphins fan, you watching a massive bet gone wrong. And if you paying to go to them goddamn games, you paying them high-ass tickets to sit in the rain, sleet, snow, sun, to watch the Dolphins lose, you getting exactly what you paid for. Lots of hype, but a little delivery. They need to get goddamn Tua up out of there. He's sorry hell. But y'all make sure y'all keep it locked to the Nino Brown Sports Network. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel right now. Go watch all my other content on this channel right here, because I'm finna give you the game, baby. I'll be back.
You turn the ball over, it's the #1 indicator of wins and losses, and it negatively affects the team. I think there's multiple factors in those turnovers. But I know at least, 1 to 2 of them were extremely preventable from Tua, and he knows that it just wasn't good enough. So we'll watch the tape and change our style of play if we have to. We'll do everything's on the table.
I thought that was a wild comment. That I turned the ball over in bunches. That's crazy. Definitely not happy, not proud of where I'm at with my play, with how I've gone about things this year.
Hello everybody, meet the worst quarterback in the league, Tua Tagovailoa. I cannot state enough how bad Tua has been this season and how bad he was today against the Cleveland Browns, having 3 interceptions in this pick 6 right here. He was 12 of 23 for 100 yards, 3 picks, and a 24.1 passer rating. And sure, the Browns defense is pretty good, but I mean, these were some lollipop throws right to the defender over and over again. You thought those first 2 picks were bad? How about this one? It was right to the defense. I mean, come on, man. It hasn't quite updated yet, but he is now tied with Geno Smith for the most interceptions in the league. I simply don't know how you keep rolling him out to be your starting quarterback. The Dolphins did make Quinn Ewers their backup today, promoting him over Zach Wilson, and he had a really nice throw down the field. Ewers did have a fairly tough first possession with a fumble here on 3rd and long, but in my mind, the season is over for the Dolphins at 1-6. Why would you just not take a look and see what your rookie quarterback can do, and if he can be a guy that you build with moving forward? The Tua era is simply over. This guy cannot play. You might as well just see what Ewers can do at this point.
The Miami Dolphins need to do exactly what the Denver Broncos did with Russell Wilson just last year. The Broncos released Russell Wilson even though it was the largest dead cap hit in NFL history. They said, screw it, we are going to keep Russell Wilson on the books for $85 million over the next 2 years. And they are still 5-2, leading the AFC West, one of the hardest divisions in football. If the Dolphins cut Tua, he will account for $79 million in dead cap space over the next 2 years. But isn't it worth it for the Dolphins to just release Tua so they can get a fresh start and so can he? And then you can fire the head coach, which I think they're not going to do because they think he is the only guy that can save Tua. I know the Dolphins went all in by trading for TYREEK Hill, extending Tua, and extending JAYLEN WADDLE. But it is okay to admit that this experiment did not work. What is not okay is letting this go on for any longer and telling your fans that you don't care about the franchise.